Hello and welcome to a book haul. In addition to this book haul that I didn't expect to have to film so soon, but I've been on a tear, I'll also be doing an unboxing of the Bookmarks and Breadsticks box that I won over on Kim's channel, which is Bookmarks and Breadsticks. I will leave a link in the description box so you can go check her out. She is amazing and I highly recommend her channel. So, first things first, I guess maybe we'll talk about the books that I've already read. I think pretty much all of these should be in my April wrap-up, so I'll link that as well. I'm kind of just going to blow through them because I already talked about them in that. First is Goodnight Beautiful by Aimee Molloy. I didn't really like this book. More details in my April wrap-up. Similarly is The Sanatorium by Sarah Pearse. Both of them were just, in terms of good thriller, Goodnight Beautiful was better, but it did one thing that I think is cheap and a little bit dishonest from a marketing point of view. So for that reason, I was not a fan. This one just wasn't, like, it was missing some atmosphere, the characters felt bland, it was just a mess. Next we have The Push by Ashley Audrain. This was phenomenal. This is a lot about the struggles that women go through after having children and about them not being believed when they say some things, because of course women are just supposed to naturally immediately fall in love with their children and nothing's supposed to be wrong and everything's supposed to be peachy. And this really explores how that isn't always the case, and I really enjoyed this one. Next is Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson. In terms of Peter Swanson books that I've read, which was this one and then 8 Perfect Murders, this was the better one. It was weird. It took a turn that I didn't see coming, and it made me feel some type of way. All in all, I enjoyed the reading experience though. Then we have Black Widows by Quinn. This I talked a lot about in my April wrap-up because I was hesitant to give it a decent rating simply because it is a story that is largely dealing with the Latter-day Saints Church and polygamy, and based on what I was reading about the author, it didn't seem that she really had much experience in that realm, so I was a little bit concerned about how good the portrayal was. But I read some reviews that seemed positive, and then I went to the website and downloaded the secret history of this book, and it basically just talks about a lot of the research she did and where she based a lot of the story on, and it was a lot based on real occurrences. So for that reason I ended up rating it higher. This is very, very dark though. Very, very dark. So just go in with caution. The last book that I kind of read it, Libertie by Kaitlyn Greenidge. I ended up DNFing this because it was just not going well. What I was thinking based on the synopsis that I read was that this was going to be about a woman living in Reconstruction era New York and her experience being married to a Haitian man and essentially going against everything her mother had wanted for her in life. But a good 100 or so pages of the book follows her as a child and then a teenager, and it wasn't what I wanted. It took a really long time to get going. It wasn't holding my interest while it was getting going, so I finally just decided to DNF it. Moving on to a couple books that I've already talked about in other videos, I think specifically my May TBR. First we have The Removed by Brandon Hobson. This is, yeah, okay, that is his name. This is about, I believe it's a Cherokee family? Yes. And their son is killed in a police shooting, and it's dealing with the grief that comes along with that. I'm reading this in an effort to read from more Indigenous authors to try and get a feel for the culture, simply because it's not something I'm very familiar with. And I like to widen my views on the world, so hopefully this goes well. I haven't started it yet, but I should be starting it either today or tomorrow. It depends on, I'm trying to finish up a couple other things. Next in that same TBR was Artemis by Andy Weir. I put this into my TBR for the Star Wars readathon. I think it's May the Force Be With You readathon. maybe. I'm going to link that video as well, so you guys can go check that out. I don't know much about this. I read Project Hail Mary, which is Andy Weir's newest released book, and I really liked that. I've heard hit or miss things about this, but I'm willing to give it a shot anyway. I'm pretty much always down for a good sci-fi. Next I have Love in Color. I am actually almost finished with this. This is amazing. I don't typically read anthologies because they're not really my cup of tea, but I can't get enough of this. Each and every story, while one kind of giving me, it's giving me stories and mythology from cultures other than Greek and Roman, which I really appreciate. A lot of these are based, I think it's West African folklore mythology. Love that. I've been researching these characters just on my own to find out what the original story was because I don't always know it. And it's like each and every short story included in here is perfect in its length. And it gives me everything that it's supposed to or that I feel like it needs to. And yet I feel like I could read an entire book about each character. It's lovely, it's touching, it's just beautiful, and I really recommend everybody go pick this up. A book I'm currently reading is the science book, From Darwin to Dark Energy, 250 Milestones in the History of Science, edited by Clifford A. Pickover. This is fun. It's not, I mean, each page is pretty short. It's like, gives you a picture and then like a couple paragraphs about the stuff. But it's good if you're looking for something to get interested in. Because you can just kind of flip through things and read about it, and if it's something that you find intriguing, then you go Google or pick up another book on the topic. So I'm really, really enjoying this, and I think it'll be a quick read. Before I get too far into this, let's talk about the ebook I picked up. I always forget to mention ebooks because they're not sitting physically next to me. And that is The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. I don't know much about this at all. Emily from the channel Books with Emily Fox raved about it, and it sounded like something I wanted to pick up, so I did. The final stack I have are books that I have picked up but haven't started yet. Most of these I'm not even sure I remember what they're about. The first is The Plot by Hanff Korelitz, I think. I believe this is some kind of thriller or horror, and this is very vague because I don't remember much. There's a professor, I believe, and he has this student who has this brilliant idea for a plot for a novel. And then the student dies, and the professor steals it, is, I believe, the baseline of the story. Very intrigued by that. Hopefully this goes well. It's blurred by Stephen King, who is not an author that I read, but I think if you can get Stephen King to blurb a book, it's probably got something there. Next, I have The Light of the Midnight Stars by Rena Rossner. It takes place in Hungary, and it's the descendants of King Solomon, and they have some kind of magic. Both of those things sound pretty interesting to me. It's a different setting than what I'm used to, and sure, I'm always kind of down for a decent fantasy, and this felt like it would be pretty good. Next, I have He Started It by Samantha Downing. I read My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing, and I wasn't a fan. And then a friend of mine read this book and hated it and really wanted me to read it because she needed someone to complain about it with. I debated for a while on whether or not to pick it up. And finally I did. I really should have just got it from the library, but I saw it, I was at the store, it became mine. The next book I got is Things in Jars by Jess Kidd. I really don't know much about this. It has something to do with a detective, a female detective, yeah, in Victorian London. And I saw Olive from Book Olive read it, and she seemed to like it. Brittany from over at Literally Smitten just started it, and I was like, well, it seems like it's having a moment. I want to get in on that. So I picked it up. The next book I grabbed is Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. I read The Deep by Rivers Solomon and really enjoyed that. So I thought I'd give this one a go as well. It has to deal with a woman who is 7 months pregnant when she escapes a religious compound that she's been stuck in, and she gives birth in the woods, I think. Really intrigued to read this. A lot of it is because I really liked the Deep, and this is a little bit longer than the Deep. And if I had one complaint with the Deep, it's that it wasn't long enough. So hopefully this goes well. Next, I picked up The Girls of Atomic City, The Untold Story of the Women Who Helped to Win World War II by Denise Kiernan. I read The Last Castle by Denise Kiernan and really, really liked it. So I thought I would give something else she wrote a go. This topic intrigues me, so it felt like a win all the way around. Next book I got is Things We Lost to the Water by Eric Megan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Essentially this follows a Vietnamese woman who moves with her 2 sons to New Orleans in the late 70s, and her husband stays behind in Vietnam, and it's a lot about just, I think, the struggles of immigration, and then her coming to terms with the fact that she's never going to see her husband again. Really intrigued by this. I'm thinking it's going to be one of those that makes me cry, so we'll see how that goes. The next book I grabbed is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. This is one that I've been looking forward to for most of the year. It's a Greek myth retelling, which I know I just said I'm kind of sick of, but I've been really loving these retellings that pull the women of Greek myth to the forefront. So I'm very keen to get to this. I'm hoping that it's going to be along the lines of The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker or Circe by Madeline Miller. We'll see. I'll get back to you. And finally, I got The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. So this was kind of an impulse thing because I think it was 2 years ago now, everybody was talking about this dang thriller. And I've been on a thriller kick, so I finally decided to see what it was all about. I don't know. I don't even know what it's about, honestly. A woman in a window, I guess. She's probably like... Okay, if I had to guess, she is stuck in the house for some reason, whether she's agoraphobic or she's ill, and she gets her kicks by watching her neighbors at her window, right? Because that's all she can do. That's what I'm guessing the story is about. If I'm right, let me know. If not, don't let me know, because I want to be surprised. Okay, now for the unboxing. This is the Persian box from Bookmarks and Breadsticks. I will link all the relevant information in the description box. I won this in a giveaway, which was extremely exciting. I opened it and looked at a little pamphlet inside of it, but I haven't really dug too far into it, so why don't we do that now? Okay, first off, there's a little card that says, "Thank you for purchasing Read It and Eat." It's super cute. It's got a little note from Kim, and I think the back is very cute. We have, I believe, oh yep, these are stickers that look adorable. I will have to open them and show you. Oh, it's her little Bookmarks and Breadsticks guy. Very cute. And the little pamphlet just saying that this is the Persian box. On the back here it looks like information about a charity. So let's dig into this here. First up, okay, let me take this out of the plastic because I'm afraid the lights are going to glare and you're not going to be able to see it. It is a card. It has pictures. And it says, Little Persian has a mission to provide high-quality Persian/Farsi learning materials to English-speaking families. I actually bought my own Farsi flashcards and posters for myself months ago. I was so impressed with the quality of the materials, I knew I wanted to reach out to collaborate on this box. This is a special custom print made just for my Persian box. Front and back you will find various fruits and vegetables. Their names are written out in Farsi English and what we call Finglish. That's funny. This is absolutely beautiful. And it feels very high quality as well. I have a little Bookmarks and Breadsticks bookmark. How fitting. Persian trail mix. A blend of the finest mulberries, dates, nuts, sour cherries, and golden berries sourced from around the globe. That sounds phenomenal. Let's see if she says something about this in here. Trail mix like you've never tasted. I've been dying to work with Nilufar. I might be pronouncing that wrong. She is also half Persian, and she also grew up eating delicious Persian food. She launched her company 4 years ago, making grandmother's ahil, or trail mix, a unique sweet and salty blend of fruits and nuts. And it is a family company, so I will see. Yes, there is a website, so I will try to put the website in the description box as well if you want to check that out. So very nice. We have a little greeting card for the Persian New Year. Very pretty. And then we have the book, which I already know what it is because I looked in the pamphlet, but it's wrapped very nicely. Thank you, Kim. The book is Persepolis, The Story of a Childhood by, oh god, Marjane Satrapi? I'm probably saying that wrong. I have read this and it is phenomenal. I completely recommend this. It is graphic novel format. So if graphic novels aren't your thing, but you maybe want to start dabbling in them, I think something like this is a good place to start because it does have a lot more words than a traditional graphic novel would. So you get kind of a blend between just having to look at the pictures to follow the story and getting a lot of words. But yeah, this was amazing and I really can't say enough good things about it. So thank you, Kim, once again for sending me this box. I really appreciate it. As always, let me know all your thoughts on the books I got in the comment section. I love, love, love reading my comments. If you're new here and you like my content, if any of these books interest you and you want to hear what I have to say about them after I've read them, then hit that subscribe button and stick around. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye.